Welcome back to the EGL circuit. Fish and Soph Chan here. It's week 8, the final week of the regular season. Soph Chan, we just saw a crazy game, and now we get maybe a game with massive playoff implications, but we'll get to that because Soph Chan, they're all ready to go. It's EGL on the blue, it's NG on the red, and they are already in the draft as we hop in. It is an action first band here on the red side. Action, of course, really looking at the history for Likeable, the mid laner for EG. The one trick makes sense, just ban the one trick away.
Yeah, definitely. And we gotta talk about it fast. We gotta talk about as well the fact that the NG squad on the red side played on the red side in the previous game as well. So they are in a little bit of a comfort zone considering that they won and that they got themselves into the second seed, 15 points, while EGL is currently on 13 points. Looking at standings overall, EXE would need EGL to really lose this game. But enough about standings. Let's finish up this draft with all of the bans already on the table. Okay, so we are almost close to it. We have for the side of EGL. You want to introduce those to me for the ban phase?
Yeah, for EGL, we've got the Senna, the Tristana, and the Pike bandway, and they're going to go with a first pick Orianna. So, Shan, if you want to bring us what's going on that red side of the screen.
Yeah, definitely the action alongside the Darius and the Jarvan are going to be the three band champions for the side of NG, and having that on the screen as we speak. Having the hover here on Syndra, I really like this. It feels like such a strong mid laner, a lot of control. Control mages are just really doing super well, and especially with the first pick Orianna, there's nothing better for you to counter it.
You know, the first pick mid laner, not something you see very often. Usually ADC, support, maybe jungle. So very interesting. We did see that Orianna banned last game. So maybe Sir Isaac Newton coming just in like, let's get the Orianna on the board for Likeable. Of course, his action already banned away. It's not on the board. The Ashe picked up. Of course, we saw this run against NG in the last game in a support role. We talked to DDoS after that game. He had the Karma counter pick in mind. Very curious if you would end up going double ADC after just playing against double ADCs. So maybe a flex pick there on that Ashe. Maybe add some little variability to the comp. Ashe ADC, though, it's like the Grave Jungle we saw last game. So, Chan, I don't know the last time I've seen that picked in competitive League of Legends as the Vi jungle is locked in.
All right, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we saw Vi being banned in the previous game as well, so it makes quite a lot of sense. And having that on the side of EGL, they're looking for a gameplay that is very focused on early game ganks. She just has that much engageability, and translating that into early game pressure for the bot lane or the mid lane would be so successful. Of course, we haven't seen any of the new things. All right, just as I say it, the Caitlyn is locked in for K-Boss for this bottom side, and I think it's going to be Caitlyn bot. We're not expecting anything different from this side of things. While the last pick for the side of NG is still getting processed.
Hey, my lethality Caitlyn mid is a force to be reckoned with when I solo queue down in, down in the depths. So, Chan, so, they better be watching out as we do got Ornn picked in. And this is just we've thrown conventional League of Legends drafting out the window, right? We only have one top laner. We don't have a jungler. I don't think we have a support locked in for either side. Again, maybe you go support. It really does feel like kind of a flex pick on the side of NG on the red side, as that Malphite is going to be banned away. There's that Blitzcrank. We talked to DDoS, the support for NG on the red side. He says Blitzcrank, one of his main champions. So the fact that that's banned away, very, very interesting. I think that means it might be Ashe support. I think they're rolling into the Ashe support here if we're NG. I think that's a great pickup.
Okay, I'm curious. I'm very curious. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ashe with a rail in the bottom lane. That would actually be a very good composition. And then for the jungle, you could have something just very, very strong in the early game. Maybe we could think about a Zinzao. We could think about a Viego. That could work well. Even if you want to go a little more tanky, you could go Red Kayn. And there are a couple of possibilities. The last ban for NG is going to be that Nautilus, while the side of EGL goes for the Kayn, as I was speaking of it. So there is some truth to the things that the casters say on your screen.
This is the pick that tells me what this Ashe is doing, right? You probably want to save your jungle as much as it's a weak counter pick because you already know it's the Vi. I assume you want to save jungle for R5 based on what they pick. So this probably should be a support pick here for NG. Very curious to see again. I think this is going to be a flexed Ash support. You got a couple bands out of the way, and it
Okay.
looks like it is. That's that Varus locked in, and I. This is why I love flex pick Soapchan, because now you look back, there was two wasted bans from EGL on a Pike and a Blitzcrank that ended up not mattering because the Ash was locked in.
Yeah, and considering that's the case for NG, I would go for example, a Maokai in the jungle. That would mean that you can have an actual front line to these two ADCs. And speaking of front line, that one is going to be decimated by the Olafs. It's going to be a run it back until you find the squishies. And EGL might even have the upper hand going into a mid game. Last hover goes to a Rakan. Okay, I don't think that's a bad one with a Caitlyn. If you were planning on the Rakan, I would have gone Azaya myself. I think she's
Mhm.
much more powerful at the meta at this moment, and especially with Rakan being her love duo. Oh, good. What?
Wait a minute. Well,
Don't do it.
okay,
No, no,
this
no.
is a run back. Yeah, this is the Graves run back we saw last game.
No.
I
I don't like triple ADCs.
yeah, I'm really I'm saying
No, the Kazakhs.
why didn't we pick Karma? Why did we pick Ash instead of Karma? That's
Oh,
like, why
geez.
not? Like, if you liked how well last game's bot lane worked, which of course we talked to DDoS. They did say, look, we picked the Karma because it was a good counter to the double ADC. I don't know if I like this Ash into this lane. Rakan has the ability not only to do some extra poking, can also get the heal onto to the Caitlyn for Kabos. Very, very interesting. I will say the one thing for the EGL comp that I feel like is kind of missing, I guess it would be the Vault Breaker, maybe for the Vi. It's not a great, ball delivery system, the BDS. Every time there's an Orion, okay, how do we get the command shockwave onto our target? Yes,
Mhm.
you have the assault and battery, but if the Vi outranges the Oriana, I don't know. I have a lot of questions, so that's the best way for you to put this. I have a very lot of questions on how these teams were composed, but I'm excited to hop into the draft or hop into the game and see how my questions are answered, because I was dead wrong about the Karma last game.
Yeah, we were. And I would say you're totally on point in regards to the Vi, to the Olaf, because they can really just go super out of range, super fast in comparison to the Ariana. There's only so much that she can do. But and that's the same thing for the Rakan too. They can just really get into a far, far backline that can't be reached by the mid laner. But on the other side, oh, I I will say I would have loved to have seen something like the Maokai for Demon Ruler. No, not for Demon Ruler, for Timeless. But it just feels like that's not the play style that they go for. But since they were so confident, so comfortable in the previous Game Fish, I feel like they saw the Varus Ash and they said, yeah, 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 good idea. We can do it. We can do that as well. And that's what they're doing. Again, heavily reliant on having the Graves popping off in the early game. But the Rai is a good contestant. She can
Mm-hmm.
go get to lanes fast. She can clear the jungle fast. She can get to ganks fast. So I don't know how that's gonna fare. But maybe things are gonna be just on late game purposes, especially with the Olaf going for split push. I don't know. Is it going to be the case? I think things are very far from conventional on the table right now.
Yeah, I think my biggest question mark, of course, we saw NG in our first series of the day, and they really won on the back of that Graves going bot lane, multiple ganks. At one point, I think it was 4-0 and 2, 7-1 and 3, really building up a big lead. But with that double ADC, you're going to be pushing more with the Ash volley spam. You're going to be pushing more as the Varus Qs go out. So I really don't know where Timeless is going to get those ganks. But as we get ready for our game again, it is week 8 of our round robin here in the EGL circuit. It is EGL taking on NG. And just to set the stage, show champ, for everyone who's joining in, this is how we stand. Top 3 teams make the playoffs. Here's where our standings are going into this game. RSH, who we haven't had a chance to see, they're at the top there at 20 points, basically guaranteed that number 1 seed potentially. NG, second place at 15 points. EGL, third place at 13. And EXE coming in at 9. Top 3 make it. So not only if you're an EXE fan, do you need EGL to lose, but EGL and NG are basically battling for that second seed and potentially a rematch into that semifinal where second seed probably gets side choice in game 1. This is a very big matchup of maybe a playoff preview in a couple of weeks. So there's got a lot of pressure on both these teams to not only perform, but also Sofchan, maybe that mysterious, like, do we hold back a comp? Like, we probably are safe in the playoffs. We hold back, keep something secret. There's a lot of mind games I think we're going to see in this series.
And I think that's totally explicit with the fact that they got the Varus and the Ashe that was played by EXE in the previous game, that they're using a different strategy that's not altogether new because it
Mhm.
has already been played. So
Yep.
if that's the case, good on them. If they have practice on it and they are confident that they can really perform well, that's wonderful. We'll see if that's going to be the case because, of course, it's different when you have the composition you want to go for just in scrims and when you're actually playing against your competition in the team. Looks very strong for EGL, right? It looks very strong, especially on the bot side. As much as you can really farm and push with the Varus and the Ashe, Fish, I'm looking at the Caitlyn and the Rakan, and I'm like, wow, constant comeback into actual engage because they're not just going to be dealing damage because the Caitlyn wants to do that by controlling the wave and how she decides to go for poke, but the Rakan really can get those shutdowns confirmed instead of just getting the chip damage over time.
We are ready to go. Game 2 of the day. Game 1 of this best of 1 series about to kick off as we're ready to hop into the Rift right now. And we have EGL and NG. EGL on the blue side, Sir Isaac, Newton, Jens Nala, Likeable, Kabas, and Zombro. And NG on the red, Workers Comp, Timeless, Nutter, Kami, and DDoS. Again, right now, NG in second place, EGL just 2 points behind them. We get a 5-man roam squad here, Sofchan. Zombro doing a little dance, but, you know, the perfect play. I always tell people, don't stand in the bushes, stand where you can see and you can run away, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I appreciate it for NG. They have to be going for this aggressive stance, but at the same time, they didn't leave anyone whatsoever defending for at least scouting if there was going to be a deep ward placed, and that's exactly what EGL did. So that round the Wraith area is going to be scouted. They know what's going to happen whenever they see Timeless, so that's going to be very important in trying to slow down how much the Graves can grow and actually bring some space for Gen Z to finally get things done around the map. Oh, look at them. That's very funny. It's like a mirror matchup, but not a mirror matchup.
The auto attacks being traded here between both ADCs. Nutter they're doing a decent bit of damage. Of course, I think these early trades
as well.
Ooh, you're right. The first strike. Also, not only that, the Syndra passive as well, starting to get those stacks. Of course, you need 100. That's kind of where everything comes online, especially with the ultimate execute. So, but this is what I wanted to see here. The bot lane, we saw it last time. Kami and DDoS got pushed, but then turned it around. Can they do the same thing in Kabas and Zombro this time and maybe actually pick up a kill? Maybe show the rest of the league this is how you play double ADC meta bot lane.
Oh yeah, I just cited the example. But topside, look at them go. Work is going incredibly low on health, but still managed to keep standing with those biscuits. Nom nom nom.
You know, unfortunately, he's running out of tasty treats as Workers Comp, and this is the one lane that if you were able to watch any of that last game for NG, this felt like the weak link. This felt like the lane that was maybe the most exploitable lane for NG. Was Workers Comp just kind of felt like, you know, played the Cho'Gath, didn't really do much, just kind of survived. I think this is where Jens Nala needs to be ganking as much as possible. Go top side, go top side. Unfortunately, started on blue buff, so both junglers are going to end on the bottom side of the map, and I don't know if I like that, but we'll have to see.
We'll see what's going to be the case. And we mentioned here the matchup in the middle, how it looks very even, how they really want to go for those attacks. Same thing for the top side, but mid lane really getting super aggressive, especially because Likeable has the Aerie, so they have a little bit of shielding, they have a little bit of extra chip damage. We'll see who's going to come out on top because they don't have Ignite, either of them, but they want to force that TP out.
I think one Syndra combo and you're dead! Oh, the flash!
That was massive.
I thought for sure, I was like, one Syndra combo, the orb into the stun, into the throw of the minion, you're dead, but Likeable gets the flash, barely survives. Would have liked to seen Timeless maybe roam up, and this could be a chance here. We see Zombro and Kabas pushing, Jens Nala there as well. Jens Nala has the level up advantage here. If this full goes to a full 3v3, and that's going to be the case, Ball breaker not going to land. Timeless trying to get away. Smokes are going to go down.
Nice.
The knock is there. DDoS and Kami are nowhere to be found. So Timeless has to flash over the wall. Flash exchange, but looks like Timeless will still end up getting the scuttle crab. So no real loss for the NG jungler.
Very nicely done, having Gen Z really going for the early clear, you know, being the Vi, you can clear a little bit faster compared to the Graves for Timeless, especially because you know that the minions are going to be tanking a little bit of the damage when there's plenty of them. So I enjoy what they've done there mid lane, looking a little bit aggressive here at top lane as well.
Timeless coming in. There's no mana on Workers' Comp. This is 100% favored of the Olaf. As just barely does the undertow miss for Sir Isaac Newton. Ghost and flash use up top lane. Meanwhile, Workers' Comp just using that flash, so gonna be able to teleport back to lane. Overall, when we got a jungle battle going on right now, though, the scuttle is gonna be picked up by Timeless. Blue buff versus red buff. Timeless now trying to chase down Gen Z. But I don't think he's gonna be able to catch him. We did see the dash forward there on the mini-map. That is all your mobility. Likeable. Your jungle is under attack. Force of Will's gonna land. Is there a minion in range? There's not. But the knock-up coming fresh off the teleport. This should be first blood for Workers' Comp. Shield going to go up. Just needs a couple more auto attacks. But the tower is there. Conqueror procs. And oh
So
my
close.
god. How is everyone alive right now?
Yeah, how is indeed. Yeah, oh my god, flash forward down the shoot with the W first blood. Not to guarantees that one in the mid lane for NG.
Oh, they're gonna get it. Oh, then how does the knockup miss on the Kava there?
Very close.
Oh, and I mean, that was just flirting with death for Likeable. Had already used the teleport as well, so not going to be able to reset. The junglers are still battling. Workers' Comp coming down as well. Here comes Sir Isaac Newton. Jensala very, very low, but there's no bullets left.
No
for time.
way!
The dash is interrupted. But now Workers' Comp is caught in a 1v3. Just turn around. You've got to go for the kill here. You've got to justify something, but the Vi shield passive. Jensala survives.
Can you even believe it? Gen Z so close to being taken down, but the help from their teammates was there. You had Likeable, and with that, you guarantee Sir Isaac Newton. You get kill participation for a couple of those teammates. Really, really well done, especially because Gen Z didn't even get knocked down at the end of the day. I'm looking at this mid lane and thinking Gen Z doesn't even bother with this because Nutter is just pushing and pushing and pushing. It's going to be hard to go on the Syndra at level 6. A lot of damage that can be done. So maybe they should be focusing on another side. We saw Sir Isaac Newton doing so good in the top side that maybe that could be the place to go. Try to get some play teams, even trade out the first Drake for a Herald and try to get the extra gold that way.
It's going to be a Hextech Dragon. The first one on the map is a nice little knock up there for Workers' Comp. And this feels like a situation like we saw this last game. NG kind of got the first dragon because their jungler was so far ahead. This time with Gen Z so far ahead. Nice flash from DDoS, just barely getting out of that knockup from Zombro. We did see the snap trap land from Kabas and Kami taking a ton of damage. But this just feels like a missed opportunity for EGL. This feels like this should be your dragon. You have the stat check right now. Your jungler's 002. And unfortunately, Gen Z is just going to channel the back.
They are looking at the reset here. There is vision and a tri-bush. Oh, they cancel it. DDoS, the face jack.
Fall breaker in. No knockup going to land. Timeless has started the dragon, by the way. I think EGL sees that. You can see Nutter roaming down a little bit on the Syndra, has complete control of that mid lane, as you mentioned, so chance. So there is very much caution from Likeable, as we are going to see the Force of Will land the full Syndra combo. Into the ultimate power, the unleashed power, not able to kill. Into the shockwave. Oh, they kill. The max range sphere of power from Nutter. Able to pick up the kill. They pick up the dragon. That felt like we should have fought there for EGL, and they get heavily punished.
Oh, look at that. It wasn't just the kill. It was also the dragon, as you mentioned. The first Hextech. Oh, flash over the wall. No, just get in. Just get in. Just baited ya. And I told you, Nutter is really pulling out the most stable link for NG in the previous game and in this game, really controlling the wave and the enemy mid lane so well. Bot lane looking like the place where Gen Z could have had a little more pressure, but so far not really going much for it. Timeless opted to go for the first Drake, and we see Gen Z trying to get a focus on the Herald. But Timeless is just around there, close to the red. We'll see if they're gonna try to contest it or not. There is a ping. They know they're there.
Let's look like might be a roam up from Gen Z, and I like the choice, right? As you do and give that Tiamat and be able to push that lane. That is the one thing that I really felt was missing in that last game against NG. Despite the fact that Workers' Comp was struggling, he kept his tower alive. I don't think he lost more than 2 plates to the Scion, and that's where I'd like to see, as you mentioned, Gen Z go top side, does have that Rift Herald, go up there with Sir Isaac Newton. This feels like a winnable lane. Use the Ragnarok, use the Assault and Battery, prevent that Ornn from defending his tower. As we do see here is the Syndra combo, and the damage is already there for Nutter. Likeable, as you mentioned, has the area, has the shield, but once that Luden is finished, that combo is going to do a whole lot more damage.
It really will. And looking at a Dark Seal for Likeable as well doesn't feel like it's going to be stacked anytime soon. Maybe just on the mid-game fights, whenever you get the assist and the shockwaves hitting multiple people, then the assists could come in. That is still a long way to go, not even on 10 minutes. And the arrows dodge, but not a scatter of the week.
There's the unleashed power, barely missing. This time flashed away. You gotta be careful. The shockwave doesn't land because Likeable goes down. The tower gets very close. Here comes Gen Z looking for the Vault Breaker, but realizing that would be a suicide mission, and simply turns it around. And you said it, Nutter, absolutely insane in game. The first game we saw for MG, and once again, 3-0. Every single kill has been on that mid lane Syndra.
Yeah, not just that, you have the first strike getting them the extra gold too. So you are really going to get the extra damage. Look at it. It's the Leandries for the Syndra. They really want to get that cut healing for the Olaf and anything that could come close to it, especially with the Rakan as well. So looking for more of a burn build. And I think it works well. You really got to shut down Sir Isaac Newton. We know how much this player can do in the side lanes.
Comes the call of the Forge God, but it's going to be perfectly interrupted. A great job by Sir Isaac Newton and Gen Z, but this is the problem lane right now. Luckily for Likeable, Shockwave back up. There's no ult for Nutter. They've got to be very careful. One more spear into Scout of the Week, and this could be GG, and it gets it. He gets the kill with the burn build that you complimented so Chan. It pays off perfectly. Burning poor Orianna and Likeable alive. Over the wall comes Zombro. I don't think you win this. The ultimate's almost online. I don't think you win this, Zombro.
Now they do.
Genzala, Timeless on the way. The Assault and Battery going to land. You've got to get the ultimate off. It's able to do some damage. DDoS roaming up as well. Kami right behind him. Volley going to land the slow onto Zombro. The Ash arrows should be able to keep the Rakan and Zombro perma-slowed. And Kama gets taken out 1 for 1, but you take the shutdown if you're EGL.
You surely do. You have that 4 kills for Nutter starting out that fight. Kabas, oh my god, what are you doing? Stay safe. They can really snipe you out if you can't dodge it, and you didn't. That's the collateral damage, but it's just not enough. But you're definitely gonna have to recall after that.
So close. NG could have 2 or 3 more kills. Workers' Comp doing a little dance there, realizing I'm an Ornn. I'm just simply going to stand here, defend my tower. We've got a little bit of a proxy Olaf going on here as well. Interestingly enough, when Gen Z got the kill top lane, they actually didn't drop the Herald. They're looking like they're gonna go back. Expiring. Yeah, they're gonna go back up there and try it again. But as you said, this Herald's almost expiring, and you can't drop it in combat. They gotta get this kill very quickly. Ragnarok going to be fucked.
Is it done?
The Workers' Comp gets away. It's gone.
No, it's gone.
Oh no.
No, it's
they
gone.
got it.
They did it.
Oh, I don't know how they got out of combat. I thought for sure. Meanwhile, mid lane, they get the Ash Arrow off from DDoT. Now they're able to get the free dive thanks to the Rift Herald. This should potentially be a kill. Scout of the Week, potentially Shockwave. Once again, gonna land, but the Unleashed Power is just too powerful. And that Scatter of the Week barely missed killing Zombro. I still don't know how Gen Z got off that Rift Herald. They were in combat, and that should have expired. Talked about it in the first game. League of Legends has a very generous 0 on the timer. We've seen that in the draft.
The only time where the 0 is not generous is when you're respawning. It just feels like it takes forever.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's have a look overall what we got around the map. The first thing to point out is the first break being taken in the top lane by Sir Isaac Newton to EGL. And that's a little different from what we expected considering NG's beginning, but bot lane's looking spicy. The land is going to go for NG. Oh no, the Varus.
Zombro realized he started that fight with third HP. I don't know why we quick this in at a third HP, but the result was kind of what we were expecting.
Sometimes you gotta be careful about your health too. Sometimes.
Maybe
it's okay.
It happens again. It's the problem is now 5-1 on Nutter on the Syndra, 3-0 on Kami on the Varus. So we do see that Ash Arrow actually just barely misses. Jenzala gonna go in there. There's the Assault and Battery. The Ornhorn gonna be used for the knockup. Nutter can't even go away. Absolutely comboed down. Ragnarok gonna be popped as well. Flash going to use that knockup. Not gonna do anything. Workers comp as the Olaf will just run you down. Sir Isaac Newton absolutely dominating the reckless swing to pick up one more. And this mid tower is as good as gone for NG.
EGL with 2 players, Sir Isaac Newton 4-0-2, Gen Z 3-1 and 5. Did they get it? They got a snipe and the shutdown onto Gen Z just as we were praising that perfect KDA. They are around 2,000, 3,000 gold ahead that competition. But that is definitely going to be amazing for Kami, going out to 4 kills now and around 2,500 gold ahead the enemy ADC.
Oh, the chain's going to land under the tower. Knockup does land. One more shot.
In the world?
Oh no! Now this is Sir Isaac Newton territory. One more undertow, trying to get the There's nobody there. Scared of Timeless, who wasn't even in range, but I think a smart play overall. There's basically
respect.
Yeah. There's no vision on the map outside of that one pink ward in their own jungle, so I would have made the play and died miserably, but I respect Sir Isaac Newton's restraint here.
Absolutely. You see that both sides have switched out their lanes likeable, and now they're going to be on the top side. The arrow lands! Do they have the cooldowns? And the Q is going to be the finish off for Nutter. Once again, carrying out on damage for NG.
So Jenzala gonna get chased down by Timeless. Zombro is there as well. Timeless not as fed as they were the first game. They will get the Rift Herald off without any complaints, though. No issues on the timer. And we did get a great snapshot there, though. Might have to wait because unfortunately Timeless left
what a
all
prediction!
alone. They didn't both stand on the blast code, Sofchan, and they just left the poor support to die.
That's unfortunate, but that was such a great read from Zombro. It was the prediction on the flash. Love that knockup guaranteeing the kill was going to be taken. Very nicely done, especially because DDoS now, differently from the Karma that we saw in the previous matchup, the Ashe is just definitely not as slippery. She just dies. You hit her and she dies if she doesn't have her ulti. So at least we have seen quite a lot of those crystalline arrows hitting by DDoS. Those around the map, global even, really doing such good work for RNG. And things are looking rather even, right? 10 kills for EGL, 11 kills for NG, and around the same amount of gold, just 1k ahead for EGL.
Nice dash out by Zombro. Sir Isaac Newton down there as well. The Ocean Dragon coming online in just under a minute. And as you said, yeah, basically almost even. It's about a 1k gold lead for the side of EGL on the blue. And as we saw, it was a great job by our production. It looks like it's basically top and jungle are about 2,000, 3,000 gold ahead for EGL. Mid and ADC are about 3,000 gold ahead. As we see, this is the battle. Nutter just absolutely getting styled on, but the ult, oh, it's not enough damage. Oh, I don't think he has the 100 stacks yet on the Syndra.
No, they don't. Oh, wow, that was massive. The flash forward to avoid the scatter of the weak. Love that. It is a mid lane without their summoner spell now for the fight around Drake that's just about to start.
Assault and Battery going to be used there. Here comes the call of the Forge God. able to get the knockup, but it only able to land on the one. Jinzala gonna go down. Sombro flash over the wall. Likeable is here. No command shockwave, but Sir Isaac Newton has the rock, and he cannot be disabled, and he feels no fear, though he does feel the ability to miss an undertow, but that should not matter. He's gonna run down Kami, and Timeless now trying to get away. Teleport from Nutter, but this might be too little too late. And
or is it?
There's no ult quite yet on the Syndra. If they're able to get the unleashed power, there's a ton of orbs available. Second teleport coming in from Workers Comp. Dragon dropping to about 3,000 health. But Timeless gets rooted by the snap trap. Not able to get in range. The double shockwave gonna land. We do see one elimination picked up. The Dragon as well. And that's gonna be a double kill for Kabas. Timeless just able to get away. And EGL with a perfectly executed Dragon kill and multiple kills.
Nasty by Kabas and Likeable. First with the traps with Kabas there, getting the arrows counted out. You're not going to arrive here before myself, hitting on your forehead, and Likeable getting the shockwave to just gather everything around and finish out the damage for the ADC. Just really delivering it in a silver platter for Caitlyn, and she really delivered it. I love how they controlled around the pit, because that was going to be the sole point for NG. Was very important for EGL to guarantee that one. Gen Z was out of the fight. They got really eliminated super fast by Kami, and their snipe ability just really was the doom of the side of EGL. But it doesn't matter, they got the buff regardless.
Okay. Shockwave again. Unfortunately, Crystal Song Arrow is just going to simply pick that one up, or the Crystal Line Arrow, excuse me. But you were mentioning that was almost sole point for the side of NG. Shout out to our production. That was a smite miss by 112, by the way, on Timeless. So nearly had the sole point. 112 damage, and Sir Isaac Newton, probably with the reckless swing, able to pick that one up instead for EGL. And that means a lot. As you said, that would have been potentially sole point. You're looking at the next dragon fight you have to take. Now the whole game can slow down, and this is exactly what EGL wanted. And they're going to set the play. Quickness immediately going to be used by Zombro, going to land just onto Nutter. And they decide, without landing it onto DDoS, they're going to simply back away and reset for EGL.
My Gen Z, though, looking here. No vision in the bush, just down in the river. Zombro, you can really take a lot of damage from Kami, so you gotta be careful. Are they going to commit to it? They are!
Timeless had no idea. That's the Assaulted Battery and the Vault Breaker going to be used. Flash away by Kami. The Flash Vault Breaker by Timeless, and Gen Z is going to get picked off. Great job there. Sir Isaac Dude picks another one up, and we've got a problem in the Swift-Chan, and that's the top lane Olaf that's 8-0-5.
Houston, we got a problem. We have an Olaf 8-0-5. Flynn looking at Nutter and Likeable again to flash forward.
Of course it will. It's going to land. It's still going to land. Here's the ult. It's going to be trade. It's going to be a trade.
It's all about the unleashed power that still unleashes power after you die, right?
Yep. Yeah, the power for Nutter and Syndra has been phenomenal. Unfortunately, fallen off a little bit from that early 4-0 start, now 7-5. But yeah, as we were talking about, Sir Isaac Newton is now 8-0-5. And this is, again, from watching the first game for NG, that was the lane that it really felt like EXE failed to capitalize on, was the top lane. This time, Gen Z went up, I believe, twice, dropped a Rift Herald up there, secured first tower, 5 plates for Sir Isaac Newton, and that gold is really showing through now with 3 items done and another one already halfway to being finished. The Maul of Malmortius picked up, which is going to help you against Nutter. And now all of a sudden for NG, it's what do we do against this level 15 Olaf, and how do we stop Sir Isaac Newton?
Very important to stop it right now, because the moment for EGL to finish off the game is between now and 5-10 minutes from here maximum, because then Sir Isaac Newton is just going to reach a peak and they're not going to scale anymore. Being on level 15, they're so ahead, 3 levels away from being capped, just 2 items away from finishing out the build. That is so easily done if you can get to the backline, as Sir Isaac Newton has been doing. So for NG, they really have to keep this game nice and slow. So finally, the Olaf is gonna start falling out.
Yeah, that's the counter comp right there. In case you're ever struggling with Olaf in solo queue, Soapchan just gave you the tech, by the way. Olaf is a mid-game master, not a late-game master, but it looks like EGL wants to finish it right now. Call of Fortune not gonna come out. It's not even enough. Sir Isaac Newton is a legendary. Ragnarok going to be used. Not too much effect, but they pick up the kill. Kami goes down, and this should be timeless.
Timeless?
Barely dashes out of the shockwave. Oh, my heart nearly stopped. But this should be a free dragon in 8 seconds for EGL.
Yeah, and it's going to be amazing for them because you get the deny on that soul point for NG. While on the other side of the map, we might have a technical pause having we're affecting a little bit. Crystalline arrow.
Should be an easy elimination. Don't know if we needed to the collateral damage and the unleashed power, because we probably should have saved one of them for the very angry Olaf. Sir Isaac Newton doesn't land the undertow. It's really a 1v3. He needs to be very careful. There is no ability for Sir Isaac Newton to catch up. The Ghost on cooldown, the Ragnarok just now coming off cooldown. And
oh my god,
the Kami has reconnected, by the way. I do see the Varus on the map, so that was just a maybe a spectator bug as DDoS able to get up. But yeah, I don't know how we stop the Olaf Soapchan besides waiting for about 15 minutes. How do we stop the 10-0-5 Sir Isaac Newton?
Very difficult, I would say, because I appreciate what NG was bringing to the table just right now, having a lot of attention to the top side, trying to get EGL to take longer to take the second Drake. So they got the tier 2 very low, but the rest of the lanes are still standing strong. So it would be very difficult to really get EGL to be so distracted that they don't go for it game.
And the problem right now is your great equalizer in workers comp, who of course on the Ornn gonna start building up those Ornn items. It's only level 13. The only ornament finish right now is his own, as it looks like Nutter is going to be just absolutely demolished. The Ash Arrow lands, but Sir Isaac Newton was already in the Ragnarok, so the stun doesn't even matter. DDoS gonna try and throw out the ball. You give this tower up. I think you just have to simply give this tower up. The chains are going to land. Potentially a chance to poke down Sir Isaac Newton, but doesn't even feel it. And this is, I think, the game plan for EGL. Just whittle your way across the map and slowly start finishing off this game.
Yeah, not looking super optimistic for NG in this game. They are very much behind. Now the deficit is around 5,000 gold. I'm so worried about the 11-0 and 5 Sir Isaac Newton on the Olaf. This is just madness for the side of EGL. Even Kabas as well haven't really picked much in regards to kills and assists in a while, but still keeping up on farm, which is important. And the Vi has had so much impact. Gen Z is just they are getting things done. 5, 2, and 7. It's big kill participation and just making sure that the backline is stopped for Sir Isaac Newton to just finishing them out.
Sir Isaac Newton, you can see there, shout out to our production, nearly has double the gold generated as his top lane opponent.
What in the world?
50,000 to 8,000 right now. But again, you can see at 1,000 gold advantage in the mid lane. Nutter facing the hole, going to come out to quite a decent bit of damage. And potentially a Baron angle here. The arrow's going to be called. The Fortune going to come out here as well, but the Ragnarok popped by Sir Isaac Newton, but he doesn't have any backup. There's the ball of Malmortius, but it's 1,000 gold shut down to Kami. And this time, Sir Isaac Newton goes too far, gives up a massive shutdown to the enemy AD carry. And now we're starting to hit that area you mentioned, Soapchan, where Olaf's power starting to dwindle. We do have maybe a potential gank here from Likeable. The shockwave is going to miss. His timeless dash his way. Worksman come. Going to be taken out, but doing enough to tank. Allowing the teleport to come in from Nutter. Volley going to go out. Gen Z and company running for the hills. Another volley's going to land. Kami looking for the flank. The chains aren't on cooldown. Going to miss the snipe as well. They do get a great cleanse from Kabas to get out of the way, but a fantastic job from NG to start to even out this game and get a massive shutdown on the Sir Isaac Newton.
Back from NG. It's not just the shutdown, it's denying the Baron, even starting the Baron themselves. There's still vision from the side of EGL. Your jungler is going super low, timeless. You are not looking super healthy, mate. You gotta disengage. You're gonna even get taken down. That was so clutch. That
17?
is 10 health. Yeah, I think it was even before. I think it was even like 10 or 15 health. That is not what you want to do. And we are looking at EGL, who had such a big advantage. Sir Isaac Newton having a misplay, going into the backline without reinforcements. The rest of the team was just not sure if they wanted to follow along, and they didn't. Shutdown taken by Kami. The ADC is just going to get so much extra damage, especially with the on arguments there on the items. This is a Varus that is going to knock your health bar down. And looking at the Drake spawning in a little bit, this might even be the case where NG can turn it around.
Every ult on the table right now, outside the ace of the hole. It was used by Kabas just for some chip damage. That's why Nutter is sitting at about 70% right now. So great use of that Caitlyn ult. You see the Caitlyn traps. Great job by Kabas. Setting up a front row. Massive amount of damage. Zombro getting taken very low. Here comes the call. The Forge God going to get knocked up onto 2 members, but a great shockwave picks up 1. Ragnarok popped by Sir Isaac Newton, going to run down DDoS. That's a kill given over to Likeable, but this Olaf cannot be stopped. Sir Isaac Newton just running down the back line. There's no choke. There's nobody left. It's a triple kill for Likeable, but it was really Sir Isaac Newton just stopping everything, and there's a hope with the Ornn. It's not a great hope, but there's a hope.
Is there? We got soul point guaranteed by Gen Z for the side of EGL. Likeable is looking for the Ornn.
Ornn's not even tight. There's no magic resist.
Not even close.
There's no magic. There's very limited magic resist in this build.
Yeah. We gotta talk about Sir Isaac Newton going to the backline, but I really appreciate Gen Z and Zumbro just being so assertive when they had to go in. They went over the wall. Okay, I gotta step back. They went back over the wall. Then the other one comes in. Some healing. Redemption. So it was so well done. We're gonna see Zumbro going over the wall here. Back into the pit as they have gotten all the vision on the side of the jungle behind the Baron pit, as they have guaranteed the buff for themselves. EGL looking to be back on track once again, all set up by that wonderful Likeable shockwave.
Yeah, the Likeable shockwaves, by the way, this cannot be denied how important it's been. That matchup early on went Nutter's favor very, very early, but we got to the point Orianna doesn't even have the death cap yet, but Likeable, I think every fight's averaged like a 2-man shockwave. And I think, as you said, part of the reason for that fight, Zombro lived the full combo, the full engaged combo from the Syndra with about 10% life. She said, was able to go back in, pop the quickness, and this could be the part where it all falls apart for NG right now, trying to survive the base push. I like the fact that Likeable, no pun intended, going topside. Let's not do the 0-5-0 push. Let's go maybe a 1-4, at least get some pressure in other lanes, and that's exactly what EGL is doing.
Yes, they are. I really like your point because I totally agree with it. And now we've reached the point where NG is 9,000 gold behind. They really need to be defending on all lanes, and the decision from EGL to split that potential on Siege is also great. The damage is going to be denied here by, is it Banshees? I think it is. It has to have been Banshees, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like the breaking the Banshees now, but here we go, the full combo, the chains coming out. The call of the Forge God going to be used as well. Ragnarok proc by Sir Isaac Newton. There is the healing, the retention, the Maldown Mortius procs, but not able to keep them alive as Timeless picks up the kill. And a great job, the Likeable still hanging around in this push. This could be a massive shockwave if they're able to get in range. Zombro gonna get taken out. It's returned once again. Multiple damage being fired across. There's still a shockwave available. This shockwave could easily combo down Nutter and Kami if they stack on top of each other. And unfortunately, they lose the top tower, but they stay alive. Does NG?
There's a little bit of uncoordination that we saw in the like 2-3 fights ago. And when you have that going on, it really feels like the team is struggling to finish the game, to close it out. We're getting to 32 minutes, and this tier 3 is getting heavy damage, but this is going to be cleared out by Nutter. Of course, the Syndra can always do that. Oh no.
Nutter walked past the super minions. Nutter walked past the entire wave of super minions and let him take the first Nexus tower.
What? Wait, what?
No, Well, that's one way for the minions to do their job. I guess maybe they had they bought the cloaking device from the shopkeeper. I have no idea because Nutter just simply walked right past them. And now you're down one Nexus
Popped
tower for
invisibility.
NG.
Like just roll 20 on a stealth check.
That was absolutely insane.
Oh my god. And yeah, we got confirmation here. So it is the Edge of Night there for the lethality build on Kami that grants them the shield, just like the Benchies does. I think it's general damage, not just magical damage. Alrighty, soul point for EGL. All of the outer turrets gone. Inhibitor bot lane gone. And with that, they are getting themselves into victory. But they are really stalling for the end
Ooh,
game.
the flank.
Okay.
This is a dragon bait. Gen Z gonna cancel the Vault Breaker. There was nobody there. I like the attempt. You had the Vault Breaker plus Sir Isaac Newton there just to hop in. Kabas spotted all alone, but this could be an issue. You're now in a very awkward spot. Kabas is taking a ton of damage, going to just get obliterated by Kami. And here comes Worker Comp. Isaac Newton and company leading the charge. It feels like a disengage angle though for EGL. You were out your 80 carry. Just let him get the tier 2. Chains are going to land onto Gen Z. And this looks like a fight angle as there's the Ragnarok being popped. Paul the Forge God not going to land onto anyone. Sir Isaac Newton just running it down and not able to find a soul.
Oh, the back door. The back door.
Oh, the teleport. Likeable's gonna go for the end game. We've got to keep an eye. We see Workers Comp able to go back. Do see Zombro able to pick up a kill. There's a wave of super minions coming in. Gen Z going to go down. This might turn into a base race, Soap-chan. It's only Zombro. Zombro is dead.
Okay. The inhibitor! The inhibitor spot!
Oh no!
Oh my god, 3 members just attacking this empty base. They have destroyed the inhibitor. They are not gonna do it. It's just an Orianna versus 3 people. Is Kabas going to be the saving grace?
Kabas has to do something here. There's 18 seconds on Sir Isaac Newton. I don't think it's gonna be enough. There's the Syndra combo one more time. And NG, down 9,000 gold, have pulled out the game. And they have kept, at least for now, EXE's hopes of the playoffs alive. As long as EXE can beat RSH in our other game, there's still hope.
No way. No
Why
way. NG getting to 17 points, still maintaining themselves as the 2nd seed on the standings. How did this happen? I don't think it was a good call to have Likeable going for the back door. I mean,
no.
The only person you want to have on the back door is the Olaf. No.
And the Olaf, unfortunately, being an Olaf, has to run basically Ghost Flash. I know there's an argument maybe for Ghost Teleport, but I do believe that was a Ghost Flash Olaf. Yes, it was.
Oh, man.
You make the call. As you pointed out, the inhibitor respawning probably is what changes that. I think if the inhibitor doesn't respawn, that's probably a fight that I think Likeable wins. That tower, that Nexus tower was at about 5%, Nexus Tower 2. But at the end of the day, you and I both said it, as soon as Kabas died, that needed to be a disengage. That needed to be a let's pull back from EGL, let's reset the fight. And unfortunately, they tried to fight and they just did not have the damage once the Olaf got taken out.
Yeah, and it's not just the Olaf, right? We had Sir Isaac Newton being out of the fight, which was absolutely insane for AG because that was the biggest threat on the side of EGL, but also Kabas. They were soloed underneath the tower by the sheer amount of damage that Kami had on that Varus, and those arrows were really piercing through everything because not even Redemption was fast enough to save EGL's ADC. Oh man, what a ton of events. All right, we are going to go into a quick break while we get things ready for an interview. We're going to see who's going to be our chosen one, the chosen one that won this game in the base race. Stay tuned because we're going to be right back.
Welcome back to the EGL circuit. It's the final week of our round robin regular season. Fish and Soph Chan here, and we are joined by Kami Eladin, the ADC for NG, who just pulled out an absolutely crazy base race in our last game against EGL. And Kami, I've got to know, walk me through the comms of the team as soon as Kabas dies and take us through those final 45 seconds of that game from the NG perspective.
Uh, Hey guys, what do you call it? The last 40 seconds of that game was literally just Nutter yelling at us, being very mean, hurting all of our feelings, because he really wants to get out of this game because he has something to do, and we're trying to make sure he stays in here longer. So all you hear, I swore, if one of us was streaming, we could clip it, and it'd be just him yelling at us, back, 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 just yelling at us, man. Obviously, I'm kidding. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
No, it's it's all fun and games, don't worry. And one thing that I wanted to ask about is, so we can start about connecting that with the final minutes. Although they were saying like back, 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 you guys knew that it had to be just one person to back because you had to keep on pushing and pushing because they were outnumbered. So was there a conflict? Were you guys like, no, 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 we push, no, 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 we come back?
It was a little indecisive, but I
Hmm.
think at the end of the day, in the 5 seconds that we had to make that decision, we were like, yeah, Orn can back, he can hold. And we pray that they int into us. And they did. They definitely did. So yeah, they took a
Yeah,
little
great job.
dive.
Yeah, super well done. In regards to the draft, for example, we saw you guys playing against the Varus and Ashe composition in the game before, and then you chose to go for it yourself. So was it something that you were really practicing?
Uh Practice?
That
No. It's not something that
no,
we practice.
just no.
It's just what do you call it? Me and Dots, we played a decent amount of like Senna combo lanes. So playing double ADC range is completely fine to us. We usually play heavy lane. So to us I trusted him, and I feel like he trusted me. And Timeless is our little like puppy that we call around to bot lane, and we make sure he sits bot lane quite a bit. Well, that's the beauty of it all.
Okay, okay.
And before we get you out of here, Kami, I have a couple of questions. One, did any of you guys know the inhibitor was going to respawn when Likeable was in your
Oh
base? So
yeah,
did you just
No.
start
the
cheering when it
timer.
respawns?
Mm.
No. That was a stroke of luck. It was a stroke of luck.
And finally, before we let you out of here, I know you said Nutter has to go, and you let it on, and maybe you guys are trying to hold him. Do you have any team comps planned in your next game? Any stall comps that you're going to really work on so that he has to suffer?
Right now, I mean, we're currently in champ select. All I'm gonna say is, we definitely have a Zyra Ash combo lane coming
Ooh.
in. So hopefully nobody's stream sniping.
Oh. Best of luck. We've seen both your guys' games. I don't think we'll see your game 3, but congratulations on both your guys' wins so far, and good luck in your final game of the day, Kami, and your team.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good broadcast.
Thank you. Have a great time there. Oh, that was so fun. It really feels like NG is just like having the time of their lives, aren't they?
Yeah, they were just like, look, we're having fun, maybe trying to keep Nutter a little bit too long, but we don't want to keep you guys too long because we've got one more game coming up. So we're going to take a very quick break. We'll be back with our final game of the day. It is EXE versus EGL, and it's coming up right after this.